There we go.
Okay.
Hello.
Um,
Rankings week 5. It's only 5.
well, week 5.
Um,
Feels like week 10.
it feels it yeah, it feels much later. Granted, more people have gone home. Um, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Damn, it's only week 5. Interesting.
Okay.
Well, we're at the jury phase.
Sure.
At the double eviction, as I predicted, Charles went home. Um, had
Oh,
I
this is all good. Hold on.
known for sure it would have been Charles, I can bring up the other draft because I'm
Let's
going
go
to do
see
it.
it.
Um,
Mm.
Charles was on my
We're gonna be
team.
tied after this week.
Yes, because one of my both nominees this week are on my team.
I don't know. I'm feeling.
I think there's one person on your team that can really bring it home, and we'll get there. And you know who
Oh,
I'm
that's
talking
it.
about.
That's
And it's
it.
the person that I said I regret it not picking. Um,
Oh,
but anyway.
I don't want
So
him to win because I want him to be on next season.
one thing that is crazy. So despite very little game talk happening in terms of plans for the week, this week has been the biggest week in terms of setting up what the game is going to look like for what I think the rest of the season. I think there are now new structures and alliances in place that have completely restructured how the game is laid out that will carry this through till I think probably the next double eviction. And that's when I think we'll see another shakeup if I had to like predict. But I think like these next 4 evictions, I think the people that are in danger are in danger, and I think the people that are safe are safe. And I'll be very interested to see how that plays out. So
Okay.
shall we get talking about them?
Start with Cal.
Cow. Yes. Cow. Cal last week. Oh, I said I was going to pull this up, but I did not. Let me do that real fast. You want to start with Cal? I'll bring up their rankings in just a second.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that alliance never got created, right? The one that they.
The one that Cal said they were going to make with Grace.
Yeah, and then they nominated Grace.
Yes, indeed.
Did not get made.
Yeah, Cal last week was at 4s from both of us.
Yeah, you start.
So I mean, during the double, getting out Charles was a huge plus for Cal. Huge plus. The thing is now though, Monet is so easily manipulated to the point where like it seems if Cal was just like, Monet, I'm not going after you, Monet would be like, okay. Like I really feel like that would be the extent of the conversation. And also, Amina has her sights on other people. Don't get me wrong, Amina's not with Cal, but Amina is focused. Like if Amina was HOH this week, I think Haley and Molly would have been the people in danger, not Cal.
I don't know moving.
Moving. Well, yeah. Now that this week has happened, different
Oh, yeah.
story. But so I don't think that Cal putting up Amina and Monet helped his game. But by that same token, I don't think Cal putting up anyone really helps his game at this point. I think at this point, Cal.
I don't think he should have won. I don't think he won. I don't think they won.
At this point, Cal cannot win the game because despite people trusting Cal for whatever reason, they're too big of a threat for people to bring them to the end. What Cal needed to do is stop being so out in front and start laying low and building allies.
I was the one that hosted the competition this week, and they did not want to win. They were trying to throw it, and they got exactly 20 minutes, 20 seconds.
Yeah, just not
great Cal. That wasn't intentional.
Cal moving forward, though, I don't think Cal is in the most danger in the house still, but Cal is on the list of the people.
Yeah.
That I think if you have the safe people and the not safe people, I would be surprised if Cal made it through. If there are 2 phases in the game left, this early jury phase and the end game, I don't think Cal makes it to the end game. That being said, though, I didn't think Cal was making it to the jury, and here they are in the final 10, no less.
Well, let's also look at this. I think Cal could be in a lot of danger next week. Because they can't compete for HOH. And let's look at this. There's going to be 10 people left next week. One of them is going to be HOH. 3 more are going to be safe. So how many is that?
That's true. That is true. That is a fantastic fact.
Nominated next week? 6?
Yeah, 6 people are eligible to be
Yeah,
next week. And if one of them wins the veto, which at this rate, a nominee's going to.
So it's only a replacement nominee. It's only 3 or 4 people that can be nominated.
And here's the thing. Once Cal's on the block,
Cal's going home.
Cal's going home.
Especially next to most of these people too.
Exactly. And I don't think they're playing well. Like I don't think, well, maybe position-wise, I could argue a 5. I think based on the fact that they won HOH this week, didn't solidify, like this was, like here's the other thing. If you at least win HOH, at least solidify the people that you didn't put up. And be like, I didn't put you up, I trust you. Instead, what they did was, I nominate Amina and Monet. Okay, now I nominate Haley. Oh, Haley's safe. Cade, can I put you up? Kalani, can I put you up? No? Okay. Grace, you've just pissed 6 people off. Because it doesn't matter that you didn't put Cade up. Cade's done with Cal now.
Yeah. It's not looking.
I'm going to stay at my 4. In combination of that with the fact that so many people can win safety next week, a lot more people are in danger because of that. I mean, we're seeing that with someone this week, and we'll get there when we get there.
I think I was really looking to go up this week, but this was a bad week. Like after last week, I thought that I was going to go up on Cal, considering the position they were in going into.
Considering the fact that Charles went home.
Yeah. Going into this week, I was like, okay, this could be a good thing for Cal. We could start seeing Cal go up. I'm going to stay at my 4 too.
I'm saying, yeah.
But I would be, okay. Oh, I have to put my computer in. Hold on. I'm going to pause this for a second. Hold on. Okay.
We're back. But yeah, I think Cal's long-term prospects are low. Because no one has Cal as a number 1 ally except Molly. And we'll get to Molly.
Do you think that the people that are paired with him next week might throw it?
No. Because I think everyone, at this point, sure, Cal isn't anyone's number 1 target, I don't think. Except like maybe like Cade. Probably Cade actually is the only one. But at this point, with so many people being safe, if you're throwing it, you're leaving yourself in so much danger. And I think there are other targets. Like it's not like Cal is the end all be all person to get out. There are lots of other people that people want out.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think people will throw if they are with Cal.
Gotcha. Okay. Going to Amina.
Last week, Amina moved down to 6s from both of us. I can start with Amina.
Okay.
Week 3, when Amina chose to keep John, was the start of her downfall. She, with that vote, I think knowingly so, like it was clear that people were not on board. It was clear that the votes weren't there. And she knew that Charles was pushing too hard. Yet she still pushed as well for a move that really wouldn't benefit her that much. And it immediately isolated her. From there, we saw the decimation of the cooking.
Mhm.
Natalie went home, then Charles went home. And I'm not surprised that Amina was on the block this week. In addition, for the Beach Patrol rankings, Amina was at the bottom of a lot of people's rankings, including Grace, including Eliav. And Amina's only saving grace this week is Michael. The only saving grace. Because if it wasn't for Michael, wanting to form this Skittles alliance, which is going to be the power structure moving forward.
Should be gone.
He would be gone. I still think there is like maybe a chance that she does go, but that relies on Eliav putting in the work to save Grace. Grace can no longer save Grace. I think Grace kind of botched her campaign.
There's still a lot of time. There's still 8 hours.
But exactly, there is still time. It really solely depends on what Eliav wants to do and if Eliav can convince enough people. But I think at this point, people are kind of sold on getting rid of Grace for one of two reasons. One, because either they're closer with Amina, or two, because they want to spite their allies, and we'll get there when we get there. So even if Amina does stay, I don't think people trust Amina. And Amina is merely just a number for people. And I think as soon as Amina is on the block, like let's say, for example, the vote where like Haley was not, no, I think Haley was gone. But let's say Cade went up as the pawn, which Cal was trying to do. Amina goes home 100%. Amina's on the bottom of that alliance. So she kind of got lucky here. I'm going down to a 4.
That's what I'm going to do too. Cal evicts Grace in or Amina in a tie.
Yes, for sure.
Interesting.
But I don't think it's going to tie.
I don't think it's going to tie either. Yeah.
I think we're looking at 6-2, maybe 7-1 as of right now.
Where's the thing? Amina 4. Big dip for Amina.
Fall from Grace. Speaking of Grace.
Speak of the devil.
The double Grace Vader. This one makes me sad.
Yeah, me too. What? It was
very sad. I believe also 6 from me, 7 from you. She was the second highest ranking last week.
sad. Okay. Grace was the one to take out Charles. She couldn't compete for HOH. Sad. She wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, Grace just really got screwed here. Grace really got screwed because not only was a lot of things had to happen. I mean, this really was. I really see this being as almost the exact same thing as the Alex Boot season 1, where there were 2 other nominees, and then someone won the veto, and someone won safety, and then by nature of like, okay, you're like my 5th choice, and I don't really want you to go home, but then people want to keep the other person, you just kind of end up going home. And there really wasn't a lot that she could do. She did start to make good inroads this week, and had a great HOH at the double, evicting Charles. She just really got screwed here, and it's really, really sad because I really, really, really like Grace. And she's just not campaigning well. She sent the exact same copy paste text to everyone, which this season has proven people compare notes to see what a campaign looks like. And if you're just copying and pasting people, that's a reason to evict someone this season. So I don't know. It makes me sad because she wasn't a really good spot, but I don't know what she can do at this point.
I really like her. I don't know. I feel like people at this point have their minds made up. I don't think it's gonna matter what else happens.
The thing that needs to happen is Eliav needs to convince the Skittles alliance.
Well, I think Eliav needs to decide first what he wants to do.
Based off of who he's texting more, I think he is with Grace, but I don't think Eliav has yet to realize that the votes aren't there.
What he just said to Kalani seconds ago. I don't want Amina gone either. It just sucks for me. So I think from who I talked to, majority is keeping Amina.
I was gonna say, I think he doesn't care enough to push. Yeah. I think if it were up to him, he would keep Grace, but he is also very closely allied with Amina, and I don't think it's worth it for him to stick his neck out for Grace right now. Especially because also I think for Eliav, as an ally, Amina is just as good, and Amina is a bigger target moving forward.
Lonnie keeps saying the vote is split. I do not think the vote is split whatsoever.
Kalani has never been right about one thing in this game. So, yeah.
I don't.
I
Why is she so like?
We'll get to Kalani when we get to Kalani.
But I'm just confused why she wants to keep Amina and evict Grace so badly.
Because Kalani and Amina are like number ones, and they have been for weeks. They were the ones. They're the sole remaining people from the Kate flip.
Yeah, the flop flip.
The flop flip. But I mean, we'll get to Kalani when we get to Kalani.
Sorry, I'm just reading right now. Okay.
But yeah, I'm going down to a 3 for Grace.
Yeah, I have to go down to a 3. It sucks. I really could see her coming back for a season. I would love to have her back.
Oh, I would love for her to come back for like a second chances. Here's the other thing. Grace has the life preserver power.
Yes, she does.
And with the life preserver power, I don't think we've really talked about it since week 1 because it's not a thing that matters until the end. But essentially, the life preserver power, if you have forgotten about it at this point, what it is it's essentially HOH at the final 4. And whoever has it at the final 4 becomes HOH and is safe in the final 3. Currently, Grace has it from week 1 for not being picked. However, if Grace gets evicted, she has to give it to someone else. And I think that person is Eliav. And I think that could hand Eliav the game right there. We'll get to Eliav when we get to Eliav. But that's my prediction right now. I think Grace gives it to Eliav.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. Monet.
On to Monet.
Looks like Monet had 4s from both of us.
Yes. As she has had all season.
Yes.
Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first? Because I actually have thoughts this week.
I don't know. I just think. Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
I am personally going down to a 3. I think we're at the phase of the game now where in the pre-jury, if you're not saying anything, you get 4 and you skate by it. Mm-hmm. Now, not only is Monet not saying things to people, she's won 3 vetoes. She is a threat to people, and people want act. Whereas before, Monet was a passive pawn for people. Now Monet is an active target. And there is not a single soul in the game besides Amina, maybe, that would keep Monet around. She has the ability to win vetoes, but I don't think people are going to give her the ability anymore, and I think they're going to try and backdoor her. I think especially moving forward into next week with so many people being safe, like if Monet doesn't win safety, I think she's a likely second juror. And if not second, third, there's like, and when people, like there were so many alliances made this week and not a single one included her because she just doesn't talk with people. And I'm like, Monet, you are such a valuable person in the game if you can win competitions. Not a lot of people in this season have won competitions. A lot of them are Cal and Monet. But the 2 of them consistently prove that they cannot be good allies because Cal says too much and Monet says too little.
Yeah.
So despite Monet winning herself safety and winning herself off the block, it just made herself a bigger threat. She didn't do anything with the power that she keeps winning. So I have to go down to a 3. It's just frustrating.
Yeah. See, I think you're right in that this Skittles alliance is going to be the dominant driving force for the next few weeks of the game. And there's 5 people in it, and
6.
There's 6.
Oh wait, no, it's a 5. It's Eliav, Cade, Michael, Camilo, Amina. So it is 5. Okay.
Yeah. And next week there's 5 people who will not be in it. So I feel like I think that if you're not in this alliance, it's trouble.
Especially because it would be one thing if it was this 5 versus another 5.
Yeah.
It's this 5 versus Haley and Molly, who are also now splitting, and Kalani and Monet and Cal. Like, they are not a solidified force. And if anything, they're targeting each other.
Yeah. So bad.
3.
Oh, bad. Bad. So that's why I worry for Monet. The thing is, like, for that 5, like, anybody could win HOH. There's, like I said, 3 more people are going to be safe next week. Like, for all we know, they could be the only 5 that aren't safe.
Exactly. Yeah, we saw it happen to Grace this week. This Beach Patrol twist, and kudos to us because I think the season needs it.
Mhm.
Not to pat ourselves on the back, but it's proving to shake things up. But then again, things don't need shaking up because people are dumb anyway. So anyway, I digress. So that is Monet threes.
No, I didn't give my name. I didn't give my name.
What? Oh,
I'm deciding. Yeah. I think if we have Cal,
I think Monet is a more likely target than Cal is. That's why I have Monet lower. But if you don't think so,
I don't know. I'm gonna say
here's the thing.
I can't. I don't know if I can go a whole step below Cal. I think there's trouble for Cal very, very soon. And while I don't think that's not true for Monet, I think bad things for Cal are coming. So 3.5 for Monet.
It'll be very interesting. I mean, as soon as Monet won the veto, the narrative was Monet's got to go. Which is why I'm just interested to see.
Anybody can win this HOH. Anybody who has a stopwatch on their phone.
And Monet has proven to be good at comps. Like, I think Monet is a likely HOH winner as well.
You know. So we'll see. And I think if Monet wins HOH, maybe, just maybe, she can get something going.
No way. I think there is a 2% chance that if Monet wins HOH, she leaves the following week in a safe position with allies.
Okay.
I think it guarantees her to be the third juror if she wins HOH this week, because I think she targets Cal.
We'll see. Let's do Haley. We'll do
the Beach Patrol winners. So
yeah, Haley had you can't find her here.
Haley last week had 6s from both of us. Okay. I'm sad for Haley because Haley doesn't realize it, nor does anyone that's not in the Skittles Alliance. But currently, there's not a path to the end for Haley. Of the 5 people that are not in the Skittles Alliance, I have the most faith, no doubt, that Haley is the one that can make a path for herself. But that being said, she is in the upper epsilon. Like, she's someone that if she didn't win Beach Patrol this week, Haley would be the one going home right now. And I think it's the same thing next week, where she's no one's number 1 target, sure, but she is the person to get screwed next week by people winning safety. So, then again, the comp next week is a logic puzzle. And if I had to put money on who's going to win it, it's going to be Haley. So I'll be very interested to see what happens. I definitely am lowering my score because Haley is not in the Skittles and she could have gone home this week.
Let's just say second juror was the week that Nora won HOH. So
I took out Annie Merkins.
We could be seeing something similar there, I think.
Which ran it for Nora. That was actually a fantastic move.
I don't know. Nora's friend Haley coming on the first HOH win on a second juror could happen.
Yeah, I'm going down to a 5. That's my score for Haley.
That's where I'm going to be too. Yeah, for sure.
I'm also, one other thing to talk about with Haley. I'll be interested to see how this evolves. Haley girl, why are you convinced that Molly is against you?
I think she's also has already been annoyed by Molly. Everything that's happened in the beginning of the season with Molly trying to save her but actually not helping her at all. Messing up the Beach Patrol competition. I think Haley has had enough of Molly, from my observations.
I agree, but by that same token,
I understand.
Haley doesn't have anyone else. Why are you turning on like your one solid ally? And granted, Haley's not turning on Molly. Like if Haley went to HOH, I don't think she goes after Molly.
No.
But I don't think she listens to what Molly has to say.
Hmm.
So.
But who does she talk to? Like Cade?
Cade is the one that convinced Haley that Molly is against her ish. Haley already had the thoughts, and then Cade like reaffirmed them.
Mm-hmm.
Which also I'm like, okay.
Everybody has gone down this week. Molly
Murphy, another person that I think is going to go down. Certainly not going up.
One
Molly
of us
last week had a 6 from me and a 5 from you.
Okay. I don't even like. Whereas in the beginning, I feel like I actually thought Molly was like very chaotic, but like had connections with a lot of people. Now I think she's still chaotic, but has no connections to people.
See, what's funny is she hasn't shown like ever since John going home, Molly really has taken a back seat. Molly hasn't been the chaos queen. It's been Kalani, it's been Cal, it's been Charles. And it has not been Molly. That's why Molly is still here. And I think she realized to take a back seat. The problem is, I feel like Molly being so chaotic out in front is kind of what kept Molly in the game. Like, I think it kind of worked for Molly. Because the more Molly talked to people, despite it putting a target on her back, it was the more people trusted her. And now I don't see, like, whereas before, Molly would be a little paranoid to check in with Eliab all the time. She doesn't now, and now I think Eliab would not have a problem sending Molly home. I feel the same way about how Michael would send Molly home. I think Kalani would send Molly. I think Amina's main target is Molly. So, yeah, or maybe it's Cal now. I don't know. I just think Molly has not set herself up well, especially with how she's communicating with Haley. But also, no one's talked about Molly as target.
Yeah, if Haley's at a 5, I gotta go to a 4.
And I'm gonna go to a 5 because I was at a 6 last week for Molly.
I've been saying this girl's time in the game is ending soon, but I've said that literally every week so far. So, oh, Molly Murphy, what are we gonna do with you? Okay. All right. Now on to the common folk.
Here we go. Here comes the fun part of the rankings. Cade. Okay, so finally.
Hold on.
Last week, Cade had 5s from both
His
of us.
line is covered. Yeah, I can't tell. 5s from both of us. Okay.
Yes. So
okay. So first of all, in addition to anything else, Cade has just put himself out there like so much more this week. I feel like this week has been like months long. But like I feel like nights in the house chat, he's made himself like so much more known. I feel like who doesn't like Cade, you know? And also he's in this big powerhouse alliance. Like Cade went from being on the block every single week to like I think being the front runner of this game. It's okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Cade is the one right now. Finally, Cade's been the biggest one in week 1 to be like, we need to make a group, we need to make an alliance, and then was the king of not doing it. Finally, this week, he was the one that pulled in Haley and Molly to himself, and then he pulled in Eliab and Michael even closer, and now he's in the Skittles, and he is the only person within the Skittles that is also connected to Haley and Molly, is also Cal is indebted to him, has at least a very transparent relationship with Monet, where Monet was like, I evicted you, I'm sorry. And Cade's like, great, you told me the truth, I'm actually not coming after you first. If I win HOH, I probably wouldn't nominate you. Like they have a very transparent relationship to the point where I don't think Monet would go after Cade. And that leaves one person who is Kalani, who had a horrible HOH last week. And Cade is the one that is set with everyone. And it's because of the work that he's put in. This was not luck. Cade put himself in this position. And I think now everyone feels so bad for Cade being a pawn 2 weeks in a row, as well as trust Cade. I don't see a scenario where even if Cade somehow lands on the block,
I don't think he goes home.
Cade's in the top. Cade is everyone's, maybe not anyone's number one, but I think it's like everyone's number 2 or 3, which at this point in the game,
Most
fantastic spot to be in.
Valuable, yeah.
So I'm with hopes to go higher.
What was he at 5?
He was at 5, with hopes to go even higher because I think he definitely can. I'm going to go up to a 7 this week.
I think that's what I'm going to do too. I think since we were at a 5, I think an 8 is too high for right now.
And don't get me wrong, he is no one's number 1, and he didn't control the game this week. And I think once you're at an 8, you're in like steady showing game sense. I feel pretty good. And I don't feel 100% safe with Cade yet because, like I said, if you're a pawn once, you're a pawn again this season, and he hasn't totally escaped that. But he is starting to get out of it, and I feel very, very confident that Cade. I hope and pray that Cade is in the end game. Because Cade has a serious shot at taking it.
But I don't want Cade to win. Anyway.
Oh, I so regret picking Charles over Cade. Are you kidding me?
Camilo.
Camilo's a really interesting case.
Wait, hold on. 6, 5, 5.
I have, yeah. Camilo was at a 5 from both of us. Camilo's a really interesting case because no one knows where Camilo stands. It's a weird thing where it's like, in all of the chats about making alliances with people, it's always been one person like, oh yeah, and Camilo. And then the other person's like, why though? Isn't he not with us? And they're like, no, I'm pretty sure he is. And they're like, oh, okay, then I'm with Camilo. So he really is just kind of, for right now, he is just a number in that alliance. Do I see him being able to break out from there? Probably not. As like a strategic front runner threat. I could see one of two things happening. I see a world where Camilo's the one that gets screwed in the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, and that's how the game flips, is Camilo getting screwed over.
I can see that happening. What I could also see happening though, call me crazy, I would not be surprised if this season gave us another Emma Mac type win. I would not be shocked. With the amount of chaos that's happening, like there's a lot of David Fosbenders in this game right now. And not that I'm saying the jury's going to be bitter, but I think the Davids, the Aarons, the K Powells, I think they get taken out. And in the end game, if Camilo's there with Cade and Cal and these other huge names, I see a world where Camilo could get to the end and win. I see a world.
I don't know. I mean, if like right now, I don't think against anybody. I think it definitely depends how the rest of the game shapes out.
I agree. I don't see him winning against anyone, but I also did not see Emma winning against anyone. And I think a lot of people are just so unlikable.
You have a bug crawling across your camera.
Oh, across my camera?
You did, yeah. It was, it was so funny. I could see if it's him and Cal in the end, I could see that. I could totally see that happening. Camilo's just gotta like, because in chats that he's in, like he talks a lot and he's like funny, but
He needs to do it with more people.
And he wants to win so badly, but it's under camera. He's just he he just can't. Like,
You can tell it's just a lack of experience.
well, I guess he won a veto.
That's the other thing. Camilo's good at the comps.
That's what I'm saying. He wants to win. Like, he needs to win an HOH. And
Really doesn't need to win an
he needs to like not be told what to do by other people, and he needs to like think what is good for him. Where were we? Fives. Let me look here. For now, I'm just gonna stay at my 5.
That's what I'm doing as well, because I think of that alliance of 4, I'm not including Amina in that core 4, because Amina is the one to go first.
Mm-hmm.
But Michael, Eliav, and Cade are the core 3 of that. Camilo's the 4th, Amina's the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for Haley and Molly, Camilo is the target of that group. I think for Kalani, Camilo is the target of that group. Monet and Camilo are oddly close. They were each other's number 1 for the Beast Patrol, something that I never, ever would have thought.
That was so funny.
I was like, what? So, yeah, I'll be interested to see where Camilla goes. She could go straight up from here or she could go straight down. And it just depends on who wins the comps. So, 5, yeah.
Eliav
last week, I think, was at 7th for both of us, yeah. This is the week. Yes, we always knew that Eliav was well liked and in a good position. This is the week that showed me, though, that I think, yes, Cade, but I think Cade has an uphill battle still, whereas Eliav, especially if Grace gives him this power, can almost coast to the end.
I don't know. There have been a couple people who have been like, I'm starting to see that Eliav is in the best position in this game.
I don't think anyone has said that.
Cade said that. Cade said, I took a nap and realized Eliav is in the best position in this game, and I might need to like look at him soon.
I would love for that to happen. If Cade is the one to take out Eliav. The only people, I just haven't read anything yet. The only people that I've heard say Eliav's name is Haley. And it's in the context of like, yeah, I really don't know where Eliav stands. I'm not really with him, but I'm going after other people first.
These were his words. OMG, you guys. I was just in the shower and I realized Eliav is probably the best player in the game. I'm pretty sure he's aligned with everyone and has had his bases covered all around. So I'm definitely going to keep my eye on him and see if I can get him out pretty soon. Maybe not this week, but soon. I would maybe try to convince Cal to put up Eliav, but Cal is too much of a messy and emotional player. I don't trust them not to expose me.
Cade King.
It's going to be spicy next week.
King of now knowing. Yes, love Cade.
But he would have to get people on his side.
Exactly, and that's the thing. He can get Haley and Molly.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he can get other people. I think too many people right now. Like, I agree, Cade eventually can take that shot. But I think that's a shot that you need to take at the double or later. And I know it's risky once you get to the final 6, but I don't think it can happen before then. It
can't, because this alliance needs to stay together for them to like keep moving forward.
Yeah. So for this week, because Eliav is coasting, I am going to go to an 8. Especially, and that's me under the assumption that he gets the power.
True. This is true. Okay, I'm also going to go up to an 8, just because like nothing has happened yet with him in a bad sense.
He's one to keep an eye on, specifically with what Cade does.
But like this week with the formation of this alliance, I mean, hold on. He is losing a close ally this week. I feel like that is something to consider. Someone who would never have put him up.
He's losing an ally that would have been a side piece for him specifically, versus
I feel like
an ally
a little exaggerated.
No, sorry, I'm talking about like within the alliance of Skittles, Grace versus Amina. Amina is for Eliav, but Amina is for other people as well. Grace is for Eliav and Eliav.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's what I mean by side piece.
Oh, I thought you meant like he has this alliance and like also Grace on the side.
No.
Like,
I
true,
think
but, like, that's not.
of the people that Amina and Grace are loyal to, Grace would be far more loyal to Eliav specifically rather than Amina. So I agree with that, but I don't think there's anything. I agree. I think for Eliav, the right move is to sit and let Grace go. I don't think it's worth it for him to push to save Grace.
I'm thinking. Because yes, he is doing the right thing with not making waves, but it's bad that he's in this predicament in the first place.
But he's only here because he got screwed, or because
I'm not
Grace
saying
got screwed.
I'm just saying, moving forward, it would be better if both of them were in the game. But obviously,
That is true. But like, also the other thing is, we would be saying this about Eliav if he lost Amina, if he lost Grace, if he lost Cade, if he lost Michael, if he lost Kalani, if he lost Camilo. Like, you know, like they're all people that are for Eliav.
but these three have been together since the beginning.
I agree with that.
I'm deciding. I'm just gonna stay at my 7 this week. And I'm very, very, very interested to see what happens next. Very interested. Okay. Kalani
Ugh.
had 4s from both of us.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm just annoyed by Kalani, girl. Like, it's just continuous delusion that you have clearly no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, and it was the same thing with Charles. It's why I get annoyed. I don't get annoyed because, like, don't get me wrong, Kalani's doing things. He's actively playing the game, and for that I am grateful. But I get more, like, I'm more annoyed by Kalani playing the game badly than Monet not playing the game. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just frustrating to watch. Like, where things, it's like, the vote is split, the vote is not split. Natalie orchestrated the vote against me. No one said that. No, she did not. And then it's like, she so overdoes it. I'm like, ugh. That being said, she has kind of like worked herself into she still has managed to escape the implications of being on the side that's currently getting decimated. So she is someone that, like, yeah, isn't in the majority, but I think if Haley is the person that I have the most faith in forging a path to the end, Kalani's the one that I am most confident in isn't being targeted by the majority. I think of Cal, Haley, Molly, Monet, and Kalani. Kalani's the one that's being targeted the least. So for that, I have to go up to a 5.
Interesting. I think I'm just gonna stay at my 4. You know, I've been saying this the entire time. There's gonna be 4 out of 10 people safe next week. 5 possibly if the veto gets used or whatever. Could be even 6.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
If one of the
Oh, that's gonna be messy.
there could potentially be 4 people able to go on the block as at the renomination. I just like so with those odds and Kalani's only competition being thrown to her, I'm gonna stay at my 4. Boy. Okay. Michael.
Finally, Michael. Michael had 6s from both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's in a really interesting position. What I find interesting about Michael is with the exception of Haley and Molly. But like Monet and Kalani specifically, and Grace, granted that's not going to matter anymore. And Michael also said this himself. Quote Michael, his toxic trait is not responding to people if he doesn't know what to say. And I'm like, Michael, you hit the nail on the head. You don't talk to everyone. And whereas before you talked to like everyone were really well liked, that's still the case. But now it's not enough people for that to be the thing that's keeping you at high scores and safe in the game. I do think there are now people in the game that do put Michael up on the block. And I didn't feel that way before. So like I'm not super confident in Michael's chances of just like making it to the end for sure anymore. Do I think it's so likely? For sure. Especially over some other people. But it's not like I see him much more in the position that like Steven was in last season, where he's ingratiated in an alliance. He's well liked, but I'm starting to see a spot now where like he could see the block a few times in the next coming weeks. You know what I mean? And do I think he's going to be the target? No. But does that really matter when so many people are going to be winning safety? Not necessarily. So last week we were at 6s for him. I sadly think, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Where do you think you are?
I'm very apathetic on Michael right now. I feel like just not excited by what is going on with him in the game. I think looking at the other people and the other scores, I'm going to go down to a 5.
The interesting thing with Michael is like when he does game, he games well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a big win. He does game.
I'm very high on the people that I'm high on, and I'm very low on the people that I'm low on.
I think I'm going to actually stay at my 6 for Michael, but it's a very tentative 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do think, like, if Michael was on the block, I do think he stays.
I think so too. Against Amina, you're talking about?
Against Amina, against Haley, against Molly, against Kalani, against a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only people that he doesn't maybe stay against are the people that are his closest allies, that being Cade and Eliav.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll be interested to see. I don't, unless Michael really starts playing more, I think his chances are slipping away.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have Eliav.
Eliav in the top position. 7.5. We'll see if he gets the life preserver power, but if he does, like I said, Cade is the one that he needs to watch out for, and he doesn't know it, and that's a dangerous spot to be in. Cade is the one with allies everywhere, and I'm really excited for Cade. That's why Cade is number 2 right now. Unfortunately, Grace is at the bottom. Makes me so sad because Grace is doing so well.
Mm-hmm.
I got screwed. Second, Alicia's Monet. Girl, talk to people about the game. Haven't actually done anything to make me sad. Yeah. Right above Monet are Amina and Cal.
Yeah.
Really interesting how the game has progressed. And I think for the first time, a structure has been solidified into place. But that being said, whereas you look at things like Dan's biggest mistake and the contradicting comrades, where those were definitely structures, those were unified structures that all wanted the same thing. They wanted Brandon out, and then they wanted Natalie. Like, you know what I mean? They got what they want. They wanted Dan out, then they wanted Kate out, then they wanted Great. Like, they got what they want. These people, although a unified structure that will not target each other just yet, I don't think they all agree on who should go next. And I think that's going to determine who positions well. Because if Amina goes, all of a sudden Eliav and Michael are in a far worse position. If Haley and Molly go, all of a sudden Kate is in a far worse position.
Mm-hmm.
If Monet goes, all of a sudden Camilla is in a far worse. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it all depends.
It really depends on who goes next. And if one of them goes next, it really, because it's not
Mhm.
It's not crazy if one of them did. So it's a really interesting point of the game. I'm really not down on the season. I think a lot can still happen.
Mhm.
And it's rare that I actually feel optimistically that way.
Mm. I agree when you sit in your rankings of the seasons so far for season 9. I think this
Yeah.
one falls right in the middle.
Yeah.
But then again, I would have said that the same thing for season 8 around this time. So,
Exactly.
and it was one of my favorites. So,
So
cool.
we'll see where it goes.
HOH eviction tonight.
HOH and eviction tonight. We're going to see a Lifesaver pass. We've got BB Comics in this next week. We've got 3 people being hit. This next week, I think, has the potential to be crazy with the amount of people being saved.
All right, we gotta talk about BB Comics too. Okay.
Yes, we do.
Because it is on Monday and we still don't know what half of them are. Good talk.
Ready.
Okay. All right. Okay, see you next time. Bye.